All right, so we're about to start on VS Code and on the coding side of things. And last week we completed this main.jac file, and now we are going to go a step ahead and create our utils.jac file. So let me create the file first. Right. Okay. And so this file is basically our utility functions. So type that utility just for the backend. Can I have it? Uh, Smart expense tracker. Right. So this module contains date formatting and budget calculations. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So like before, we just need to make our imports. So let me put that import OS. We will also need import requests and import from date time as well. Okay. So this is the correct format for Jack, right? And next, let's get into the currency uh, conversion rates, right? Currency conversion utility functions. So definition. Actually, before that, we need to define our API keys, right? So we will have a global variable. So currency API key, and also we can have the URL. Yeah. So this is the URL we'll be using. Actually, this is a bit, it's different, right? So if I take you over to the web, so this is the API we'll be using, exchange rate API. I have already gotten my API key, so it's a very simple setup. Just sign up and then get your free key. Let's go to the documentation. And in the documentation, this is the endpoint they'll be using for standard responses. So this is the base URL, or rather, sorry, actually, it's this. This is the URL, and we need our API key inside this as well, right? And then we have the currency which we are interested in, the base currency. And this is the JSON object we'll be getting out. So if we want to kind of convert our amounts, this is what is of interest to us, this conversion rates field. So let's now go back to VS Code. Okay, so we need to change this URL according to the documentation. So it was like this. So our API key is also in the URL. So we need to change that to get the current date time. So yeah, that's better. Awesome. Okay, so now let's go ahead and define our convert currency. Okay, so convert currency amount from currency to currency. So okay, I think we can edit this a bit. So this address, without using this, let's see. We can maybe, so we're trying to convert the currency. So and this should be, I think this should not be in a doc string, right? This should be comment. It's better. So if the from currency is equal to currency return amount, yeah, okay. And then we can maybe have a try block. Let me just remove all of this. So try. What are we trying to do? We need to get the exchange rates from the API. So URL would be equal to currency API URL plus the base currency or the from currency which we are trying to convert. Then we can get response equals request.get URL. That's fine. Let me also define a timeout. So okay, so once that is done, we can first of all yeah, see if cirrus code is 200. Let me just edit this to be equal to 200. Maybe we can change this. We can get the data as a JSON object. Rates equals data conversion rates. That is the correct field we are interested in. So if the two currency, so this converted amount is amount into rate, return the converted amount. Actually, we can, you know what? We can give this in a rounded format. Yeah. Else, without having an else, actually we'll have an except. So if it's there, you can have except print error during current conversion. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and let's have a fallback. So return original amount. No, actually, we can. Yeah, no, actually that's good. Yeah, return the original amount if the conversion fails, right? I guess this is good. Okay. Why is there an error here? We yes. Okay, I see what's wrong. Yeah, yeah, that's better. Okay. All right. Next. Okay, so what are the functions that we would need in terms of date time? So one, we would need to pass the date in a particular format. Then we can also have like get current date time, get current month, same functions we defined in our main file. Perhaps also another function to get a range of months, dates, to see whether a particular date is in that range, and so on, right? So let's get to it. So first and foremost, let's create a function to pass the date in a given format. So yeah, that's a oops, okay. Okay, so it has already defined a lot of the functions we need. This one needs to change, I guess. So date string is a string. Yeah, okay. And whatever the format is, so we need to say, so let's see, a common uh, date formats. Let's get some common date formats first. So formats, have a list. Yeah, okay, let's also better visualize this. If we can get it to say 2025. Yeah, okay, perfect. Let's get those formats as well. And so once we have those formats, so we can, yes, that looks good, right? Yeah, if try return except, right? So in the case we do not have it continue and uh, so, yeah, in the case it's not there in the formats, so what can we do? So right, if no format matches without creating an error, we can use the utility function which we defined. So return get current date time. Get current date, I think is better. Yeah. So we will be using this function. Okay. So yeah, that's past date. Then we have date time, get current date, current month, get current time, month range. Let's see. Get the start and end of a given month. So start date. Um, yeah, if it's December, then we have the end date as year plus one, first, okay, minus 1 day, and the end date, okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. Getting the month rate. So we have the start and the end for a given when we have give a particular year and month. For this for a given month. So if we want, so this is actually for 1 month. If we want to get several months, we can use this function get last in months. So okay, we have a list of months here as well. Then today date time dot now for I in range. Okay, this is actually not complete. So today date time dot now. Then for I in range n month, today equals date time dot now. Um, Next, what we can do is months of a month. Okay, so month. Okay, go back 1 month. First day this month equals now. Let's see. So if you want to go back by 1 month, we need to say, okay, we need to get the end date, right? We need to track what today is and then track the end of that range, I believe. So if uh, today dot month is equal to 1, the first of the month, then today date time today dot one minus 1, 12. Okay. Else today equals. It's not the first. Yes. Yeah, this makes sense. So if it's the first of the month, it will track back to the first of the previous month. Okay. And so that is for 1 month, right? And this is basically done in a for loop. So whatever the amount of months we can get, it will go in this range of n. So 3 months. Do this 3 times. I think that is fine. This looks okay. And then we can perhaps return in return months in chronological order. So we can have maybe months equals months dot reverse return months. Right. Okay, so get last month range and all that. Maybe we can have one more function to see if a particular date is in that month range. So let's define that as well. Is date in range? Yeah. Check if a date is in that range. Yeah, this looks okay. Maybe let's try and put it in a much safer format. Except value error return false. Okay. Past date, I think we are already returning a value. Yeah, we are returning this value, so we don't have to return returning this, right? So we don't need to have another separate return. No, but then again, this is a bool, so yeah, we need to change this perhaps. Can take this here and yeah, have it texted. That's better. Yeah, I think this makes sense. We're getting a list of strings here, and then we're comparing them and then returning a boolean value. Okay, and if it is a value error, it will automatically say that no, the date is not in that range. Okay, that's fine. So that brings us to an end with the date time utility functions. Let's add another set of utility functions, not budget calculation, but more like maybe data validation, right? So is valid currency. Maybe we can, yeah, that's a good function to have. Validated the currency code is a value valid ISO 4217. So valid currency. Oops. Valid currencies. So we'll keep this list for now like that. Maybe another one we can define for yeah, if it's a positive amount, that also makes sense. So return instance and amount if it's greater than 0. Yeah, it's fine. Is a valid date. I think that's not needed, right? Let's have another one more to get the amount in a particular format. Maybe 2 decimal places. And rounding it off 2 decimal places. So amount and currency. Okay. Yeah. So we have some symbols here. And okay, it's code return. Mm, this that's it. Right. No, we're not going to define any walkers now. I think these utility functions for now are enough. We can add more later on. Let's fix up this to make sure that there are no syntax errors. So currently there are a few syntax errors. Okay, there's an error here. I believe that's because we have not defined the type, right? So from currency string string. Yeah. Okay, let's see what are the other syntax errors in this file. Okay, there is an error here. We have to define the type as float. Okay, there's another error here as well. It's fine. And here's the final error. I think it's the way this is formatted, this f string. Let's put it in our standard. Yeah, that's better. Okay, nice. So looks like we have got rid of all the syntax errors. So let's see the file. Awesome. Okay. Great. So that brings us to the end of this video as well. And just to recap, we worked on the utils.jac file. We defined currency conversion utilities. We defined date time support functions as well as for data validation. And coming up next, we will be finally able to test the agentic system after the successful completion of the first phase. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how the testing goes and if there are any changes to be made. And then we will start on the next phase as well. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. And I've also entered a blog article in the description below. Make sure to check that out. It covers all the content we covered so far in the first three videos from defining the system graph and architecture to finally testing the agentic system. The nodes and the walkers and so on. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to my channel, and drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of it, any questions, any feedback on the delivery and so on. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.